Hi guys, welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Chat. Welcome to Across the Pond on this Wednesday evening, 11:15 Central European Time. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're doing well. And of course, most important, I hope you're healthy and happy. There you go. Yes, baby, it's time for North American Sports Update, our weekly show. A lot of people, I might be doing it 2 times a week soon, but everybody wants me to do it at least once a week. So let's get straight into it. Let's have a topics. As you can see, beautiful behind me, obviously the man cave, but on the screen you can see the Hard Rock Stadium there in Miami. That is going to be the place where the final of the college national championships will be decided, and we'll get into that obviously afterwards. That's Indiana against the Miami Hurricanes, or the Indiana Hoosiers against the Miami Hurricanes. Vernie's still on. Yes, I know Vernie's still on. Yeah, we are live. There's still the African Cup of Nations in football going on. That's still 0-0 at the moment. There you go. Shout out to Dennis van der Merwe for the super sticker. Thanks a lot. Let's have a look what we're going to talk about today. If I can get that to go. There you go. Of course, the NFL playoffs. We had wild card weekend. Just finished, and the divisional round is up next. Then, of course, the college football playoffs, or let's say the national championship game, NBA, NHL, a little bit of NCAA basketball. And then at the bottom here is the email address. Get hold of me on there. And otherwise, a little bit further down, you can see the countdown to the Super Bowl, baby. 24 days. Jeez, I can't wait. I wish it was 24 hours and not 24 days, man. I wish it was 24 minutes and not 24 days. So we got that there. Let's have a look there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. We're well on our way to 130,000. Thanks to all you guys there. You're so Superman. Let's go. Let's start. We're going to start with the NFL and the wild card weekend. Here we go. Those were the results. Listen here. I'm telling you, I expected the Rams to beat the Panthers. Panthers, they just need I think they're still a young team. Bryce Young, of course, they've got Bryce Young, so they're young. No, but Matthew Stafford played well there at the end. Very disappointed in the Packers, losing their 27-31 against the Bears. Then the Bills, that one was maybe the game of the weekend, the Bills against the Jaguars. Josh Allen, I mean, he was sensational. He whirled his way there. Look, Trevor Lawrence did a good job for the Jaguars, but at the end, this has to be Josh Allen's year, man. I did have him winning the Super Bowl. Remember that? I said the Bills. Obviously, I've changed my mind since then because I'm a Patriots fan. But no, Josh Allen, you've got no Lamar Jackson. You've got no Patrick Mahomes. All the big quarterbacks are out. Let's put it out this way. The only team that has a world-class quarterback still left in there, in my eyes, is Josh Allen of the Bills and maybe Matthew Stafford of the Rams. Otherwise, it's all young quarterbacks. Brock Purdy's young. Drake May's young. Caleb Williams is young. You got, the Texans, CJ Stroud. I think the Bills and the Rams have got the best 2 quarterbacks left in the playoffs. Then look, the 49ers beat the Eagles. The reigning champions are adios, auf Wiedersehen, ciao ciao, sayonara. They just didn't have a good season this year. I mean, they made the playoffs. They have Saquon, they had AJ Brown, but there's just too much noise with the Eagles. I mean, we know in Philadelphia it's always noise because that's the sporting town is crazy in Philadelphia. But there were, everybody's criticizing Sirianni. AJ Brown is never happy. Everybody says Jalen Hurts is not a prime quarterback. I mean, come on, give the guy a bloody break. The Chargers got stomped, destroyed, and annihilated by my Patriots. And everybody always talks about the quarterbacks, but Patriots defense was freaking phenomenal, baby. Phenomenale, they would say in Italy. And then, the hapless Steelers, they had a lot of consequences. I mean, Texans there, Steelers never had a chance. Because their offensive line cannot protect Aaron Rodgers. I mean, if their lives depended on it, they'd all be gone by now. Come on, they couldn't protect Aaron Rodgers. So, what does that leave us with? A divisional round that looks like this. Bills against the Broncos, I'm going with the Bills. Patriots, Texans, I can't go against my Patriots. Seahawks, 49ers, I think that's the big one. That's the one that is the hardest for me to pick. I will be getting pictures from the stadium live when the Seahawks play, because our friend Dominic, he's flying off tomorrow or on Friday direct to Seattle for that game Big, I think he's the president of the Seahawks Germany. Big, Vern has spoken to him. He's going to send us pictures. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have the pictures on the show. I'm doing all 4 playoff games. I'm trying my best to do them this weekend. It all depends on how I feel. There you go. So, and then the Rams against the Bears. Look, I'm going Bills, Patriots, Seahawks, Rams. That's what I'm going. My finals will be Bills, Patriots, and Rams, Seahawks. And I'm going Patriots, Seahawks in the Super Bowl. This probably won't happen now, but that's the way it is. But all these games and all this stuff has had consequences in the NFL. Has had consequences. I mean, we have 9 NFL teams. That's more than 30%. That's what is that? Yeah, around about 25% of the league that are looking for a new coach. 27% to be precise. Who's looking for a coach? The Cardinals are looking for a coach. The Falcons are looking for a coach. The Ravens are looking for a coach. The Browns are looking for a coach. The Raiders, the Browns, there you go. The Falcons, the Dolphins, the Giants, the Steelers, the Titans, all looking for a coach. Unbelievable. 9 NFL teams. Now, if I'm a coach and I could choose, you want to go to the Ravens. I think the Ravens have got the best squad out. They've got Derrick Henry, you've got Lamar Jackson. I think the Ravens is the best team to go to if you want to win. If you want job stability, the best place to go to is Pittsburgh. Because, I mean, I think in the last, since 1969, if I'm not incorrect, they've only had 3 coaches. Mike Tomlin was there for 19 years. Then Cowher was there even longer. I mean, they don't chop and change managers. They give managers time. So if you're looking for stability, Steelers. If you want to win now, Ravens. Best prospects going forward was probably the Falcons. Got a good lineup. And then I also think the New York Giants. Jackson Dart there, I think it's a good one. Cleveland, you would say Cleveland got good prospects, but Cleveland is fucking Cleveland. Cleveland always seems to stand in their own way. Miami, you got Tua. Yeah, let me go. Well, I was going. You got Kyler Murray at the Cardinals. Is he the answer? I don't think so. The Falcons, you got Michael Penix Jr. I think he will be the franchise quarterback. And you got a good backup in Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a quarterback who'll take you to the playoffs. Ravens, like I said, Lamar Jackson. The Browns, Deshaun Watson. Is he ever going to play for the Browns again? Shadeur Sanders, I like him a lot. Geno Smith and Kenny Pickett at the Raiders. I think the Raiders need to draft a quarterback desperately. The Dolphins, Tua. Do you move on from Tua? The Giants got a good quarterback in Jackson Dart. Steelers, Aaron Rodgers has got to retire now. And the Steelers have got to make some moves. They have got to draft a quarterback or trade for a quarterback. Definitely. And Titans, Will Reeves, Cam Ward, definitely. They've got a good setup there. I mean, if you look at it this way, I mean, the AFC North, 3 teams out of 4 are looking for a coach. The Ravens, the Steelers, and the Browns. The only team that hasn't fired their coach has been the Bengals. And people are rumoring that Joe Burrow could be on his way out there, I mean, look. At the moment, the number 1 draft pick will have Arizona, then the Titans, the Jets, the Raiders, and the Giants. So all the teams that are basically on the board, except for the Jets, everybody, is high up on the draft. Who won't take a quarterback? At number 5, I don't think the Giants will pick up a quarterback. But the Jets, the Raiders, the Titans probably won't take one either. Arizona could take one. I mean, look, Mendoza, he could be out there. I mean, Carson Beck. Yeah, there's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out of the NFL, out of the college ranks. But let me do a little game here quickly. I'm just going to get rid of all these teams. I'm going to do a little game here quickly where I think the following the 3 best coaches left in the draft, left without a job at the moment. Who could they be? Let's have a look. There you go. So let's have a look. Look, obviously, you could put Mike Tomlin as 1, John Harbaugh as 2. They're both phenomenal coaches. They will definitely pick up the first coaching jobs, I believe, if Mike Tomlin wants a coaching job. There you go. So I'm going to go with John Harbaugh. Where do I think John Harbaugh should go? Well, the best team would be the Ravens, but he is leaving the Ravens. So I think go to the Falcons, man. Go to the Falcons, John Harbaugh. You got a good quarterback at the Falcons with Michael Penix Jr. You got a good backup in Kirk Cousins. They got good defense. They got good rushing. They got everything, and they proved at the end of the season they came really good in the last few games of the season. And a good coach like Harbaugh gets him to the playoffs next year easy. I think that's a good spot for John Harbaugh to go. Then we'll go with Kevin Stefanski as next. I think Stefanski's moved around a lot already. I think, listen here, go to the Steelers, baby. It is uncertain, I know that. You don't know who your quarterback is. I mean, they spent a freaking crazy amount of money on their defense last year. I'm saying give up a few draft picks, give up a few things, go out and get somebody like Fernando Mendoza, start the franchise. Pittsburgh will give you time. If you want jobs, I think he needs job security. I think he's a fantastic coach. I think he has the possibility. Go to the Steelers, man. Go to the Steelers. And then, of course, last but not least, Mike Tomlin. Now, where should Mike Tomlin go? Where should he go? He should go to the Ravens. But that's not going to happen because he didn't get sacked by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He decided he wants to stop in the Steelers. So the Steelers still own him because he's still under contract for 2 years. So they would want, going to the Ravens, they would want compensation from the Ravens, definitely. Would they let him go to the Ravens? I mean, he gave them 19 years, let him go where he wants to go. But do you want him in the same division? Not really. So the Ravens would most probably be the best spot for him to go to. But I think go to the big city. Go to New York, man, baby. Make New York Giants. You got a good quarterback. You got some good players there in New York. I'd like to see Mike Tomlin either at the Ravens, number 1 Ravens, number 2 Giants. There you go. That's just a little bit of playing around with the NFL. We'll see in the next few days what happens. The interviews are going on. I mean, you still got Mike McDaniels out there. And you've got a few coaches that are looking. Does Bill Belichick all of a sudden decide he wants to go? Can you imagine Bill Belichick tomorrow saying, I feel like coaching? The Ravens would take him with a heartbeat, man. With a heartbeat. Bill Belichick at the Ravens. Could you imagine that? With that culture. Get Ray Lewis as an assistant or something like that. Damn, that would be great, baby. That would be great. Now, let's move on to the college football playoffs. There you go. We had our semifinals. I did both of those games. Indiana were unbelievable. Fernando Mendoza was freaking playing out of this world, and that defense in Indiana was solid. I mean, look, Indiana definitely the favorites, but I wouldn't say they're like 10-point favorites or something like that. If I'm putting it in percent, I'm saying 51-49 because the final is in Miami, in the Hard Rock Stadium, in the home stadium of the Miami Hurricanes, who, in a beautiful game, last second they're beating Ole Miss, the Rebels. I love that game. It was fantastic. Carson Beck, I think, is strong there. I mean, look, if we look at the two lineups, let's have a look. You got your two quarterbacks, Carson Beck and Fernando Mendoza. What do you want to say about them? They're both fantastic. You got Fletcher as the running back for Miami. You got Hemby as the running back for Indiana. Both solid seasons, both over 1,000 yards, 10 and 7 touchdowns respectively. And then Tony and Cooper, the two wide receivers. I mean, look, Tony, of the Tony, 1,090 yards, 9 touchdowns in the season. Cooper, I mean, he only had 866 yards, but the man's a touchdown machine. He's had 13 touchdowns. So that is fantastic there, you know. So let's have a look at their last 5 games. Well, hey, don't forget, it is on the 20th of January for us in Europe. It's in the morning. For you guys in the US, it's on the 19th. It's in the Hard Rock Stadium. Be sure to join me for that. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to have a little snack bar set up for myself. I'm going to have a freaking party because it's going to be my birthday on the 20th as well. So I'm going to have my own little birthday party at 1:30 in the morning. I hope you guys join me for that. Let's have a look at the last 5 games these teams have played. Obviously, Miami had to go through a round more in the playoffs. So, I mean, they knocked off the Texas A&M. Then they knocked off Ohio State and Mississippi Rebels. Indiana, impressive against Alabama, impressive against Oregon. I mean, they thrashed those two teams. They thrashed them big time. So, yeah, crazy. It's going to be, look, it's going to be, if Indiana play the way they've played so far, it's going to be tough for Miami. But I believe if the Miami defense, which has been phenomenal, which has been the best defense for me in the playoffs, if they turn up, it could be a very interesting game. Very interesting game. So join me for that next week. Don't forget that. Then we move it NBA, there were some results last night. That Trailblazers Warriors one I forgot to put in there. Warriors did win that one. Don't worry about that. NBA starting to hot up now. It's starting to get very interesting. Playoff picture. Anthony Davis injured. When he's not going to be operated, they're going to evaluate him in 6 weeks' time. I think if he stayed healthy, I think he would have been traded. Will somebody trade for him even though he's injured? I think Dallas would like to move on from Anthony Davis. I think they'd like to move on from Kyrie Irving as well. I think they'd like to move on from Klay Thompson. I think they'd like to trade those three for some younger pieces. Cooper Flag doing well there for them. I think they'll still make the playoffs. Then, the Nuggets doing well without Nikola Jokic, still winning their games, fantastic. The Thunder still rolling. The Lakers are there and thereabout. I still think the Lakers cannot win the championships if Austin Reeves is not healthy. I think he's the second option, LeBron being the third. That's just me. I know people are going to say blasphemy. There you go. Let's have a look at the standings in the East and the West. There we go. We'll start in the beast of the East is the Detroit Pistons. 3.5 games ahead of the Knicks. I do like that. I like, because I'm a traditionalist. So, New Detroit Pistons, New York Knicks, Boston Celtics. That sounds like NBA for me. Old traditional. Then the Raptors, of course, for the 76ers. My Miami Heat in 8th. I got the Milwaukee Bucks still making the playoffs. I think the Chicago Bulls or Atlanta Hawks are going to get knocked out of the playoff, one of the two. But you never know. You never know. I'm keeping one eye on that AFCON game as well. Look, Indiana's cooked. It's a bust season with the injuries. Miles Turner got traded away. It's a bust season. The Wizards, well, look, they got Trae Young now. Do they start winning a few games? I do not know. The Brooklyn Nets are a rebuild. Charlotte Hornets, a rebuild. The Milwaukee Bucks, I think, make the playoffs. There you go. Let's move into the West. See how the West is going to be won. Oklahoma, 6.5 games ahead of San Antonio. Look, I don't think Oklahoma will relinquish the top spot. I think they'll stay there. I think San Antonio will come in third. I still think Denver comes in second there. Minnesota will come in fourth. I think the Rockets fifth or fourth. I think the Lakers will drop out into a play-in position because I can see the Rockets overtaking them and I can see the Warriors overtaking them. Clippers and the Mavericks for me are totally in the race. I know Utah is only 3 games behind a playoff spot, but I can't. Sacramento, Utah, and the Pelicans, because they call themselves the Pelicans, but it's the Pelicans. They're done. So let's have a look. The table for me is really relevant around about the All-Star break when the trades come in and stuff like that. So let's check that out. In the NHL, there were a few games last night as well. There you go. I'm not going to rattle through all of them. I do them every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning show. Check them out. Those were the games from last night. Got to say one thing, and we'll have a look at it afterwards in the tables. The reigning champions, the Florida Panthers, are starting to come. Everybody laughed at me, and I'm telling you now, the St. Louis Blues are going to go on a beautiful stretch at the moment and get a few wins. Let's have a look at the East in the NHL. In the Atlantic Division, it is the Tampa Bay Lightning on 61 points, ahead of the Detroit Red Wings on 60 and the Montreal Canadiens at 59. Metropolitan, it's the Hurricanes ahead of the New York Islanders and the Washington Capitals. Now, penalties. Yeah, I'm watching it. There you go. Florida Panthers are second last in the Atlantic Division, but I think they make a run now, and I think they make the playoffs. Not a problem. Then we have a look at the West. I mean, look, the New York Rangers could do a little bit better as well. In the West, the Avalanche is the big team in the NHL, way ahead of everybody else. They're leading the Central ahead of the Dallas Stars. Hi there, my friend. Hello, how are you doing, man? Are you enjoying the Africa Cup? That is Imboloye Joseph, the man from Nigeria, if I'm correct. There you go. Check out the St. Louis Blues, second last in the Central. Didn't I say they're going to move up? Watch them. 3-4 weeks time, I see them in the top 4. My Golden Knights, who I support in hockey, are in the Pacific, top dog. Seattle Kraken, Vern's team, also doing well. So that's good there in the NHL. Nigeria, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to see if I've been finished by then. Let's have a look quickly at the rankings in the college. because this week we're not introducing any state. I'll be doing that next week again. Arizona still on top there for the men, ahead of Iowa, Yukon, Michigan, the Wolverines, Purdue, the Blue Devils of Duke in 6th, Nebraska, Gonzaga Bulldogs in 9th, Michigan State Spartans. I like them a lot. I always keep an eye on them because I did play against them once here in Europe. North Carolina, the Tar Heels, the Texas Tech Raiders doing really well. Let's go to the ladies' side. Your heart is shaking right now. Well, I'm going to go over to that quickly afterwards. In the lady, Yukon still on top there, ahead of the Yukon Huskies, ahead of the South Carolina Gamecocks. Then UCLA Bruins, the Texas Longhorns, Vanderbilt, LSU Tigers, Kentucky Wildcats, and the Michigan Wolverines. Got a shout out to a team that is not on this list, because I only did the top 16, is the Texas Tech Lady Raiders. They are 18-0. They just, I think they're 18th. So should be good. Guys, could be guys. So guys, that's kind of the show for today. I want to keep it short and sweet. I didn't want to ramble on too long, because next week I think I'm going to do two across the pond shows. One on Tuesday and one on Thursday, both at 11:15 in the evening, because there's so much going on in the North American sports. But we'll see. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe. I can put that out there, otherwise Vern will tell me I don't do that enough. There you go. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Remember, all 4 NFL playoffs this week on the channel, plus the college football national championship live on Monday night, Monday to Tuesday. So join me for that. And of course, every morning at 7 o'clock Central European time, an update on everything NBA, NHL, NFL, college, NASCAR, whatever, soccer, football, rugby, tennis, cricket. Join me for that. That's the Across the Pond for this beautiful Wednesday evening, or afternoon, or morning, depending on where you are. Guys, have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves, and I will see you soon. Ciao, ciao.